2, 3, 4.
Hi, my trusty adventure followers. How's it going today? Thank you so much for tuning back in. So, right now, I know the lighting's not ideal, but we are filming in a house where there is no like straight up electricity and no straight up water. So whatever water I have is the water from the hose. The electricity is like a lamp, like a single lamp that's run from the main house. And I'm in a house next to another house. And it's pretty cool. And I'm having a really good time. And I can't quite like show you the coolness, like the epicness of the house right now because everything is dark. But I will show you in the morning before we leave so you get to see where I'm sleeping today. So basically the guy who owns this house, he lives in the house next door, and this is his parents' old house. So this is like a quiet old Japanese house, and you'll get to really see and get a feel of what is like inside of the Japanese house without the furniture, of course. It's pretty interesting. There's like little different steps and things everywhere, and I'm quite like just the view is gonna be really cool in the morning. We're tonight staying in a town called Otsu, which is really close to Kyoto. And I actually did go to Kyoto and then got to do some sightseeing. I saw the really cool red arches, like loads of the infamous ones. Again, I should like really remember what they're called because I keep calling them the red arches. Red arches, Kyoto. I'll tell you what they're called, but you probably know. They're called Fushimi Inari Shrine. I do remember the Inari. Fushimi Inari Shrine. They're really beautiful, and I'll tell you like a story about it later on in like the vlog and stuff. But basically it was really cool, and I ended up getting the bike bag, and I wanted to test it out. I wanted to see what it's like to actually be on the train with the bike bag and, you know, pull the bike apart, put it back together. Seriously, I understand why here they like those foldable bicycles, just because wham bam done, it's that easy, you chuck it in the bag. With the other bikes, the sports bikes, you actually have to take off the wheel, take off the seat, like your handlebars are sticking out unless you took them off, but I didn't take them off. So all I did, you again are gonna see it in the vlog, I took out the front wheel and I put the little divider thing in the disc brakes area between the pads, and then I took out the seat and basically chucked all of that in the bag. But the thing is, the handlebars were sticking out still, so I couldn't like completely fully zip it, and I didn't want to fiddle with the handlebars because like it was like quite warm, and I was already like spending quite a bit of time like trying to get this to work. So I had them sticking out, but then you also have this long piece of fabric, and you have to like tie it on two areas in your on your bike, on your frame, and then kind of sieve it through the bag. It's like, oh, if I'll show you now, you won't be able to see because it's black. The bag is black and it's like complete darkness behind me. But basically you do that, and it was a bit of it took a while. Putting it back together was just like bang, no dramas, super quick. And yeah, kind of breaking it apart and putting it, it took a while putting it in the bag, and then you're left with all these bags, your penny and rag bags, your bag, new bag with the bike, and then like a backpack or whatever else. So it definitely takes a bit of juggling and figuring out which shoulder can withhold the strap of the bike while you're still like also holding the fabric so the bag doesn't unzip while you're holding it, and then in the other hand you hold all of your other bags, and it's a bit of a juggling act, but it was fine, and it was, as I said, really quick to put it back together. The only thing I would mention is to obviously pay attention if you're doing this in one of the busier train stations. So I kind of did it in a busy one, but because it was sorry, much later in the day. Like there were not many people there, so I basically had quite like enough room, and I didn't have to like worry too much about different things. Again, the train ticket I got, like I think I did like a 15k ride to like here on the train. It was 4 stops, and it was fine. It was like fairly bam bam, very very quick. It was 240 yen again, so it's like $2.50 maybe. So like the prices for the train, the regular train, I find pretty reasonable as well. So that's a good thing to remember if you're ever in Japan and you're just like, oh man, I'm sorry, it's like 11:30 and I haven't been getting overly absurd amount of sleep lately. So definitely, yeah, time for bed for me. If you're ever cycling through Japan and you feel like you're in need to catch the train, it's like, it's great, right, when you cycle touring a place and you know there's always the backup of the train. Not that you can take it like any minute, but you can if there's, for whatever reason, in this new country that you've never been at, like you can take it, but just make sure you have that bicycle bag. And also they sell you these little like holders for your forks. I was just like, oh my god, you're just trying to make me spend extra 1,300 yen, but really that's like, well, just, I don't know, $15 max or something along those lines, $14. And it actually, like, it's good. It helps the forks not to kind of go through the bag, because it's kind of a bit of a holder thing. It also helps your little rod, right, the one that's holding your wheel in, like, not to get dirty, and while you're like fiddling with it on the floor of the train station, like, it's good, and it's not just waste of money. So it's cool. It's a bit of a mission to do that, but it's all good. It works, and they tried not letting me through, but when I clearly said I have a bike bag and I know that you can ride on the train with bike in a bag, they kind of let me through and didn't question me anymore. So yeah, stand your ground. That's that is part of the rules here. Basically, you can ride on the train with your bike as long as it's in a bag. Also, they asked me for my passport at the bike shop, and they gave me 400 yen discount. Basically, I didn't have to pay like some sort of tax or GST or something on the stuff I bought. So that was pretty good. Carry your bike if you're buying bike stuff here in Japan, because that's definitely handy to have that bit of an extra kick, extra discount. Food-wise, we're still going with the sushi rolls. I have had a couple of juices that are like amazing, but they're slightly more pricey here. What can I tell you? So yeah, anyway, what I started with. I'm staying in the town called Otsu, and it's on the southern part of Lake Biwa. And what is Biwa is, I'll actually show you, might be able to see it now if I show you on the laptop. Can you see? See, that's the lake. So the lake is Biwa. It is basically called that because of the shape of the instrument, of like a guitar, Japanese type guitar. So that was pretty cool, I thought. And I'm working through the knickknacks of the trip and thinking about which way we're gonna go and how we're gonna do all these things that are coming up now that we have changed the direction slightly and changed the route, but it's pretty good. So couple of apps that are useful. So you know that I mentioned that Google Maps are not really allowing you to do the bicycle man thing, which is annoying. But what you can do is you can download Maps.me, and I have heard of it before, and I actually had it on my phone, but you do need to download the maps before you go. But plus side is that you don't have to use the internet to use it. And basically Maps.me lets you in Japan have the navigation thing with a bicycle. It can also take you through a quieter and less traffic roads, which, I mean, it's good for some people who like that, and it might take you through longer routes or hilly routes sometimes, but nevertheless it'll give you more or less an idea of a bike route. and kind of physically show you that you can bike through there, and you can follow it, or you can choose your own one, kind of basing on that one to begin with. Another really, really helpful app that I found, well, obviously the Google Translator for the just phrases, but at the same time, another really, really useful app is the Google Translator Pictures. So now whenever I think I mentioned it in the vlogs, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in these longer videos, that you can just take a photograph of the ingredients list, and it'll basically translate the whole thing for you, and you have more or less of an idea what is inside of whatever it is that you're looking at. It also uses your geographical location and stuff like that, so it's it can sense the language based on your location, based on the language itself. What is it that you're taking photo of? It quickly copies that, translates it, and gives it to you. And I actually ended up buying that app. It's like $8 or something, but you can do the free trial and you get like 5 translations in like a certain period of time. So you can look into that as well if you're here and doing this. Another thing, so the host that I'm staying with tonight is the Vormshire's host. He's really cool. He's a firefighter, and he's just telling me that this area gets a lot of typhoons, earthquakes, and things like that, and how busy it gets. He actually has done a tour 25 years ago from Sydney to Brisbane, and then he's done some hitchhiking in the northern Queensland, so that was really cool, and we got to like talk about that. And he said that back then, or he used to do is he'd like cycle, and when he gets tired of cycling, he'd go for a swim, and then he'd wash his clothes in the ocean, and then just keep going after that. And he would camp, or again, like some kind people would let him stay with them, and it was just really nice and very sweet. And now he feels like he just wants to give back. He's got 2 sons, and then I go to uni, and in the morning I'll show you like this house that he grew up in, basically, but he's telling me all these different stories about how he grew up and all these things that he used to do here and all the memories he had. He did mention something that because when I'm writing, I have been seeing a lot of political like posters everywhere. So basically they recently had an election for their mayor, and their mayor now is a woman, and she has like kind of been putting in a lot of focus on childhood care and things for kids, basically, in her decisions that she's been making as a government representative. And then he's like, oh, all that money has now been taken away from like people who do firefighting and emergency rescue services, and we kind of talked a little bit about that and things like that. Anyway, it's been pretty sweet. It's been pretty good, pretty kind people that I get to interact with on the way as well. It's been interesting riding. There's a lot of stopping and studying going on just because of like a lot of traffic lights. There's a lot of traffic lights on the road, but I suppose they have to because of so many cars. And also there are a lot of like fairly narrow roads as well. Not like in the bigger cities, but in between the cities there's lots. But at the same time, like, I get it because it's it's an island. They have to do what they can. Also, there's a huge focus on like recycling and not producing much waste. Although, like, I get that, but then they keep offering me plastic bags with stuff that I buy at the convenience store, and like I say no every time, because like what am I going to do with like a million plastic bags every time I buy a couple of like sushi rice bowls? But it's, if they're trying to like fight on that, maybe they should like not offer them so easily. But at the same time, it's friendly, and it's nice that it's there if you need it, but it's good to say no if you don't need it. Yeah, packaging. All right, you know what, you guys, it's pretty late and I'm super duper tired, so I might say goodnight now. And I will definitely show you around tomorrow. I'll definitely talk to you more about, because we talked like about renewable energy with him, and we talked about like all these different like other things that are local, and it's pretty interesting. They have like a huge play of solar panels, And during summer they produce too much, winter they do still buy a little bit off the grid, and summer they sell some to the grid. So pretty, like, I want to say standard Aussie situation. But basically what happened in Sendai in the north, they have like a big electric plant, and it produced heaps and heaps and heaps of their energy for the country. And there was an earthquake that basically destroyed the plant, and then there was an electricity shortage. And at that point the government just gave everyone subsidies saying, hey, you guys please install solar panels. And then everyone did. A lot of people did. So these guys are definitely saving a lot of money, he said, on having solar panels on their roof. And it's like the roof basically is fully covered with it. Alright, I should end the story here because I also need to figure out what we're doing tomorrow, what accommodation we're doing, anything and everything, which way we're going, and which city we're going to stay at tomorrow night. So I will love you and leave you here. Definitely thank you for checking in for another day. It's again been another day of learning experiences with just everything, really, like day by day. And it's like with the bike and the train and just traveling and interactions, and people like try and talking to me on the streets because they're seeing like that I'm on a bike, that I'm on a mission. But it's been really, really fun. Instead of but, you just say and it's been really, really fun. All right, good night. Hope this little catch up video was interesting, and I'll see you again soon. Remember to stop counting calories, start counting health. Count your adventures, count your passions. Don't be afraid of adventures, really, because you don't know where they can take you, and you get to experience all these new, crazy, exciting things that then you'll tell people about. It's always fun. It's always good, and it's always, just new. I know I look super tired, probs. All right, good night. Thanks for checking in. Bye.